Mi nombre es Alfonso Kusianovic, vivo en Split, en Postrana, que se encuentra cerca de Split. Tengo 26 años, casi 27, y originalmente soy de Lima, la capital de Perú.
Hola, me llamo Florencia, vivo en Split, Croacia, hace casi 2 años. Llegué en el medio de la pandemia en junio de 2020. Me fui a Argentina hace 4 años, estuve viajando por Australia, un poco de Europa, y encontré en Split un lugar muy lindo para quedarme y construir una vida por ahora.
So my name is Candice Rooney, and I am originally from San Francisco, California. But before living in Croatia, me and my husband were living in Austin, Texas. And we moved to Zagreb almost exactly a year ago. We moved March 31st, 2021.
Ok, yo soy Lea, me llamo Lea, nací en Costa Rica, soy, ¿cómo se dice? Tengo doble nacionalidad, puesto que viví en Austria, en Viena, muchos años, y vivo en Croacia desde el año 2009.
Yeah, so I'm Charlie.
I'm Annie.
We moved to Split in, what was it, August last year?
Yeah, like July and August last year.
Yeah, because of being in the UK, I've had to move to Europe because of what we do for work.
During the process of research, I looked into some Croatian media outlets in English, and I remember very clearly about this article in which they did some kind of like report about this agency from Croatia called Rent a Local.
I found out about Rent a Local because of a friend of mine. I was looking for a place to live, and as Split is a seasonal city, it's very hard to find a full year apartment.
So I don't quite remember how I found out about Rent a Local. I think either it was a Google search or maybe on Instagram. We were looking for a service that would help us once we arrived in Croatia because neither me or my husband speak Croatian. So in one of those searches, I found Rent a Local.
En el internet, estaba en el internet, no sé, de casualidad vi la página de ustedes y me puse a investigar y me pareció interesante.
I actually found Rent a Local through my company, so I think a few guys also employed Rent a Local to help them out.
Yeah, it came really highly recommended, didn't it? We had a few people who'd already used the Rent a Local, said that it was really helpful, said that they'd found their dream apartment or that they were getting assistance with visas, and we were like, that's exactly what we need, is one company that does all of that together.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would say that Rent a Local helped me giving me the right information. I think that helped me go into these places. I think, and most importantly, I think that they helped me having the right attitude to face these problems.
So they helped me a lot, and now I have like a really nice apartment with a very affordable price, because sometimes apartments for foreigners used to be a little bit more overpriced. So yeah, I'm very lucky because I am paying a very good price for the apartment I have, so I'm very happy.
We needed help for when we arrived in Croatia. The process before coming to Croatia was not that easy. We found some resources online, but on the government website there wasn't really clear instructions on what exactly we needed to do. My husband had gained his citizenship already before we came to Croatia. I had applied for my citizenship as well through the embassy in Chicago, but I knew I needed to get residency in the meantime. And there just wasn't exactly clear instructions on how to do that.
Bueno, al principio yo lo necesitaba más que todo porque siempre necesito cambiar de papeles, porque no soy croata, necesitaba, pero en aquel momento no necesité nada de ellos, pero tenía una amiga que venía a vivir a Croacia, a Zagreb, y ella tiene 3 hijos, y ella me dijo si ella necesitaba conseguir buenas escuelas y necesitaba un kindergarten para su hijo y si yo le podía ayudar. Y como yo tampoco no soy de aquí, entonces me pareció más fácil. Le pregunté, bueno, como ella tiene dinero, quiere pagar y no son tan caros tampoco, entonces yo llamé, hice el contacto y ellos me ayudaron a encontrar escuela y me ayudaron a encontrar un buen kindergarten donde de hecho hablan hasta alemán, inglés y perfecto.
And like even just little emergencies, like we had an issue with something very basic in the apartment. We needed some cleaning doing, there's an issue with the toilet. And she was on the phone like translating, and I could pass her over, and it made it easy because it's quite intimidating trying to manage something, especially when money's involved, where you don't understand the language. There's probably a cultural difference as well. So that's been really beneficial, because anytime I'm worried or I need any assistance, I'm just like Dora, or like if Dora's not available, she'll organise for someone else to help me, or Charlie like the same day. So
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you.
Their response was immediate. I was almost crying, and like that same day I got like a video call, and the next day I was already getting like some first information, and in just a couple of weeks I was already meeting Maya from Rental Local in Zagreb, and that next day we were in one of these offices. So for me it was not only quick, but also I think the whole experience was very calming and great.
The best thing about Rental Local, I think, is like the communication. Like it's very easy and they're very efficient. So any trouble that you have, even like mine was like find an apartment, but then also like there must be like some issues with MUP, which is like the police in Croatia that makes like all the papers to stay. So they're also very helpful with those kind of things that maybe if you're a traveler, as I was, you're used to like things to work in a certain way, but sometimes in Croatia it's a little bit hard, so they make all those things way more easier, so you can relax and know that your papers are going through and everything works fine.
Oh my goodness, I love working with Rental Local. We've worked with, I think, 3 different people, but mostly 2 people during our year in Zagreb, and they have both been super friendly, like just really interesting. It's been really fun for me and my husband to meet like Croatian youth, I guess, if that makes sense. And we just feel very like inspired by them and how like creative and intelligent and just like well-rounded people they are. So just meeting the people themselves has been awesome. And then service-wise, it's just been great. I mean, trust me, we've had our moments at MUP, even with assistance, but definitely knowing that there's someone there to help us, it's just a sigh of relief.
Eso fue una de las cosas que también más me gustó, porque rápido, o sea, rápido contestaron, de hecho inmediatamente contestaron, y además que tienen personas que hablan también diferentes idiomas, o sea que es muy bueno que hablan español, alemán, croato, aunque yo comuniqué en croato, pero me pareció muy bien que son internacionales también. Y supuestamente rápido contestaron y muy rápido me encontraron, o sea, en cuestión de una semana ya teníamos escuela y teníamos el kindergarten para los niños.
I think one of my favourite things actually was when we were looking for an apartment, we sort of gave a budget, and because we weren't paying by the hour, we'd given a set fee. It would have been very easy for a company to have just found one apartment and said, you know, this is perfect. We didn't know the area, so we could have just been put in an apartment anywhere and we probably wouldn't have known any different. But I think it was really nice because we would say to Dora, you know, we want this kind of apartment with this kind of money, and then Dora would show us an apartment like that and then say, but I think we can do better.
And
So
go,
it was like,
and go above and beyond.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, it could be, you know, paying you guys to help us out. You could just do what's easy.
you could do the bare minimum, that's the
Yeah.
thing, and I think a lot of companies would do the bare minimum, especially if you're offering so many services. They would say, well, we've had that set fee now, so we're gonna, you know, give them an apartment that kind of meets the basic criteria. But every time we went into an apartment, Dora was like, we can do better. And then we ended up moving into our apartment now, which is like a dream apartment. Like, we love having friends over, it's in such a nice area.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend Rental Local to everyone that thinks about coming to Croatia, because I think that even if I still encourage you to come, you're always going to find that there are different ways to do things here than any other countries. So it's not about just my case of when I faced something ugly. I think that if I could go back in time, even if I thought everything was okay, I would certainly would have reached out to Rental Local, because I think it's better to anticipate than to solve something that is already ugly.
Yes, I would definitely recommend Rental Local, because sometimes as a foreigner, you're new in the country, there might be some obstacles to start your life here, or maybe like if you want to stay a few months or a year, if you're a digital nomad, if you are a traveler. and I think it's worth it because it's going to make your path way smoother, and you're going to enjoy more the country and don't be annoyed with some like bureaucracy things that can happen.
Oh, I would absolutely recommend Rent a Local to anyone who needs, help with anything that has to do with living in Croatia.
Bueno, si el renta local hubiese estado en el tiempo en que yo llegué aquí, o sea, me hubiera ahorrado montones de problemas, porque en aquel tiempo no había. Y me parece, o sea, excelente que te pueden ayudar si necesitas abogados, si tienes problemas de, qué sé yo, de pobreza, o mucha gente no le gusta andar burocracia, porque, o sea, yo detesto la burocracia. Y en estas cosas, o sea, excelentes. O sea, yo pienso que los servicios que ustedes dan, o sea, es algo muy innovativo. O sea, no hay. O sea, a decir verdad, creo que es la primera, o sea, el primer grupo de personas que dan estos servicios y que me ayudaron rápido y cuando lo necesitaban.
I'll definitely be recommending you guys, 100%.
Yeah, I'd recommend it to literally everyone, whether they're moving over and they need loads of assistance or something really basic. It just really helped us to settle in again with the language and the cultural differences. I think I would recommend it to anyone who's moving to the area, who needs help finding somewhere and just wants to make sure they have really good quality of life to settle into.
And I think most importantly, I think you'll find that there are great people to be with and to spend the time with. So who knows, maybe it's not just like your assistant from Rent a Local, but your friend from Rent a Local.